This method of purification that we are going to look at is the simple distillation. The simple distillation is used to separate and purify a solvent from a mixture of solid dissolved in a solvent. For example, water from seawater. It involves the process of boiling and condensation, and it works on the principle that the solvent has a lower boiling point than the solute. What do we mean by that? This will be clearer as we go on to look at the procedures involved in the simple distillation method. Now, let us look at the procedure and the setup of the apparatus. This is an overview of the setup of the apparatus using simple distillation to obtain water from seawater. Firstly, the seawater is heated in a distillation flask until it boils. The water boils and produces pure gaseous water or steam. Steam form is allowed to escape into the condenser where it is allowed to cool. In a condenser, there is a stream of cold water passing through it continuously. The cold water in the condenser will cool the steam and condenses it into liquid, or in this case, your pure water. Pure water, or the distillate, is collected at the receiver. Salt and other unwanted substances present in the seawater are left behind in the distillation flask. Now, let us take a look at the steps and procedure involved with the help of a diagram. The first step, heat is applied to boil the mixture. Water vapor rises and enters the condenser. Step 2. Water boils and becomes vapor. The thermometer measures the temperature of the vapor. If we are obtaining pure water, the temperature of the thermometer should read at 100 degrees Celsius, the boiling point of pure water. Next, the water vapor is cooled in the condenser and condenses into liquid or the distillate. Salt and other residue will remain in the distillation flask. Pure water is collected as the distillate. Boiling takes place in the distillation flask. This is where the liquid turns into your vapor or gas upon heating. The condensation takes place in the condenser. And that is where your vapor or your gas of the pure water turns back into the liquid form. Here are some points to take note. Firstly, the thermometer bulb should just be beside the side arms leading to the condenser. This is because we want to measure the temperature of the vapor entering the condenser. And this will in turn tells us if the liquid is pure. Next, boiling chips are to be placed in the flask to ensure smooth boiling. Water entering the condenser from the bottom and leaves from the top, and the condenser must be sloping downwards in order to collect the pure liquid. Volatile liquids can be kept in the liquid state by placing the receiver on ice. Now let us take a closer look at the condenser. The condenser consists of two tubes, an internal tube and an outer water jacket. Cold water enters from the bottom of the condenser and leaves from the top. This ensures that the condenser will be completely filled with water so that it can cool the hot vapor entering the condenser. This is one of the most important points to take note for the simple distillation method. For the thermometer, the bulb of the thermometer should be placed above the liquid level in the flask and next to the opening of the condenser. It should not dip into the solution. This ensures that the thermometer measures the boiling point of the substance that is being distilled. For the boiling chips are used to smoothen the boiling, and it helps to keep the temperature of the distillate low so that it remains in the liquid state. Now, let us look at this animation to help us further understand the distillation process. When seawater is heated, the water vapor evaporates and enters the condenser. Here, you can see the water molecules entering the condenser. Inside the condenser, the water molecules condenses back into the liquid form and flows down the condenser into the receiver. Pure water is hence collected in the receiver, and all the other impurities are left in the distillation flask. What are some of the practical applications of simple distillation? Distillation is used to produce pure water, known as distilled water, which is suitable for human consumption. Next time when you visit a convenience store, do look out for the label of bottled water to see if you can find a bottle of distilled water. It is also used to manufacture an alcohol called whiskey by distilling barley mash.